Good evening, everyone. Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International with a huge video update tonight. My goodness gracious me, wow, what a massive week it has been since I last did a video just before Easter. The Pope's death has been announced. Klaus Schwab has stepped down as the head of the World Economic Forum. More truths have come out about Victoria's COVID lockdowns. Dan Andrews is being absolutely hammered as a result. And the UK courts have ruled that transgender women, surprise, surprise, are not women. So as you can see, it's been a massive week. We've got a lot to get through tonight, so let's get straight into it. So first up, the powers that be have chosen to wait until just after Easter Monday to be exact, to announce the Pope's death. Now, anyone who's been following that story since he went into hospital will have obviously heard the rumours that he actually died much earlier, but they were just waiting for the right time to formally announce it. And of course, they couldn't conflict with the lovely ritual of Easter. So there you have it. Now, look, I don't want to upset anyone. Some people seem to think that he was a wonderful Pope, and other people believe, obviously, otherwise. But either way, it is now at least official. So we do await the next literal installment of a new Pope. And we'll wait and see how that plays out. Now, on that point of Easter, I do hope you all did have a very happy Easter and managed to spend some time with family and friends. And very quickly, just speaking of Easter, in case anybody missed it out there, we do understand that a lot of people are genuinely struggling financially at the moment. We do also understand that a lot of people really do need access to all of our incredible information. So we have decided to extend our 20% off Easter promotion right through to the end of this Sunday, being the 27th of April. So that discount does apply to all of our physical products. So that's our books, CDs, DVDs, home study course, even our big combo packs, our platinum packs, which are some of our very savvy members have got onto over the past week or so. So you can find out more about that via our products page. You can just go to the website, click on the products link. There should be one going up again in the comments of this video if you're watching it on Facebook. If you're watching it on YouTube, again, just go to the website. Now, it also applies to all of our live events as well. So that's our upcoming live webinars. The first one is on next weekend. Our live Gold Coast events, which are the final standard live 2.5-day events, Gold Coast in July, and also our 2 boot camp events right at the end of the year. Again, you can just go to our seminar page. You'll find that on our website again if you want to find out more about that and to secure your seats. And again, just remember, just put the word Easter into the coupon code box that comes up and you'll get that extra 20% off as well. All right, so the other exciting news of this week is, of course, the fact that Klaus Schwab, Mr. You will own nothing and you will be happy, has finally stepped down from his role as the head of the World Economic Forum. Now, if you missed that story, here is the article on it. And it says, Davos meat founder Klaus Schwab steps down from WEF board. World Economic Forum said on Monday that its founder Klaus Schwab has stepped down from the board, turning a page in the history of the organisation that hosts the annual meeting of wealthy, famous and influential global elites at the luxury Swiss ski resort of Davos. Schwab informed the WEF's board that, as I enter my 88th year, I have decided to step down from the position of chair and as a member of the board of trustees with immediate effect. I wonder what he knows is coming. WEF's board hailed Schwab's outstanding achievements in his 55 years as leader of the organisation. Really? Come on now. At a time when the world is undergoing rapid transformation, the need for inclusive dialogue to navigate complexity and shape the future has never been more critical, it said in a statement. Shape the future how we, the elite, want it to look is what they actually mean, of course. Building on its trusted role, yeah, right, by who? The forum will continue to bring together leaders from all sectors and regions to exchange insights and foster collaboration. Yes, foster collaboration between the elites in other countries as well. Critics have meanwhile repeatedly charged that WF's gatherings simply create a safe space for the corporate world to lobby governments without oversight, which of course is exactly what happens. Schwab and his organisation have long been the focus of conspiracy theorists. Remember, it's not a conspiracy theory if it's true. After he called the first Davos summit following the COVID-19 pandemic shutdown as the Great Reset, conspiracy theorists charged he was the incarnation of a globalised elite seeking to enslave and even eliminate portions of humanity. Can't say they're wrong. Disinformation has spread on social media alleging that decisions have been taken during secretive Davos meetings to unleash epidemics and promote things like pedophilia and mass starvation. Isn't that what's going on right now? Elon Musk, the multi-billionaire owner of X, even said on his platform that Schwab wants to be Emperor of Earth. Wow, good luck. Misinformation and disinformation top the WEF list of short-term global risks in its latest global risk report. Really? That's the top of the, misinformation and disinformation. That's the top of the global list of issues. Not the cost of living crisis, not the pedophilia problems, not the starvation going on around the world, not the absolute mess that the whole planet is really in. No, misinformation and disinformation. That's what we've got to watch out for. I mean, seriously, who actually believes this rubbish? I mean, sadly, there's people out there. But look, the reality is that they're just going to replace him with some other puppet. But now, hopefully, people understand what the whole thing is all about and, of course, what to look out for, and they can keep an eye on things as they develop. Now, speaking of these so-called conspiracy theories, I remember being called every name under the sun. When I dared try telling people that Victoria's COVID lockdowns were completely disproportionate to any real threat, and in particular, there was absolutely no medical basis whatsoever for the curfews that were imposed. And lo and behold, what came out just this very week? A story confirming exactly that. Now, I'm sure most of you watching this have seen the story, but just in case anyone's missed it, hopefully you're inclined to share this video around with other people in other groups and other social media platforms that haven't seen this story. So very quickly, here are the highlights, and of course you can read that story for yourselves as well. Damning email exposes truth about Dan Andrews' contentious Melbourne COVID restriction. An explosive secret email the Victorian government tried to bury has exposed the truth about former Premier Daniel Andrews' contentious decision to lock millions of Victorians in their homes during the COVID pandemic. The document between two senior officials reveals a nightly curfew introduced in mid-2020 banning people from leaving their homes after dark was proposed without any formal input from health authorities. Just like we said all along. It wasn't until hours after Mr Andrews announced the curfew that Victorian Chief Health Officer Brett Sutton and his deputy Finn Remains actually discussed it. David Davis, Liberal leader in the Legislative Council, obtained the email exchange under a Freedom of Information request, which he said the government had fought hard against. I mean, can't imagine why they'd want to fight hard against this truth actually coming out, that everything they said was a complete lie. The detailed exchange was very late in the day, just over 2 hours before the curfew was due to come into effect at 8 p.m, and shows it was not conceived by health officials. It was not based on health advice, but was announced by Andrews preemptorily. In the exchange, Remains seeks approval from Sutton to sign the curfew order, but it is clear that there is little detailed health material behind the decision. Mr Davis said the contents of the exchange show why Labor used every legal trick and manoeuvre in the book for the past 4 years and 7 months in a bid to block its release. That's what the government, that you pay taxes so they can pay their wages, that's what they're doing with your hard-earned money. Trying to block vitally important information from being released to the public. And these idiots want you to vote them back in again? When are people going to learn? The government pushed back on Victorian Civil Administrative Tribunal orders and then took the matter to the Victorian Court of Appeal, but lost. Now we can all see why the Andrews and Allen Labor government wanted to cover up the embarrassing facts behind the curfew decision. Given the lack of guidance from health officials before the decision was made, Mr Davis said there was no determination that it was truly necessary. Other states and territories did not impose this style of harsh curfew. Surely the health evidence can't have been that different. And of course, now we know that it simply wasn't. And there's an actual copy of the email, and it's on that article. But as you can see here, the highlighted section, he's asking, the idea that the curfew has not arisen from public health advice in the first instance. In this way, the action of issuing a curfew is a mirror to the state of disaster and is not occurring on public health advice, but is a decision taken by Cabinet. Okay? Now, again, anyone who's a regular listener of our radio shows will know that we talk about the National Cabinet and how it actually has no legal force or effect at all. The Victorian one is exactly the same. It has to be based on health advice that simply did not exist. So, just in case anyone's failed to connect the dots as to why Jacinta Allen then replaced Dictator Dan, all you need to do is have a look at this article. So there's the title there. Jacinta Allen grilled on COVID curfew decision after secret documents revealed it was not based on public health advice. Jacinta Allen has refused to reveal the true origin of Melbourne's COVID curfew after secret documents revealed it was not based on health advice. So the truth's come out and she still doesn't want to face it. She still doesn't want to deal with it. And this is the illustrious leader of the Victorian, state of Victoria. The Victorian Premier was grilled by journalists on Wednesday in her first public appearance since the release of an email exchange between two senior public health officials on the evening Melburnians were first locked into their homes from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. The exchange, released following a Freedom of Information request that the government spent more than 4 years fighting, reveals that not only had the idea of a curfew not arisen from public health advice, but Cabinet briefings had not included any written consideration of a curfew. So they hadn't even discussed it. It wasn't even there on the agenda. Now, here's the kicker. Pay attention. The decision to impose the curfew was announced by former Premier Daniel Andrews after being made by Labor's 8-member Crisis Committee of Cabinet, which, shock horror, included Ms. Allen as a member. So she was a party to it. Premier Allen refused to say whether she had agreed with or opposed the decision in the Cabinet meeting, leading to a tense exchange with the press pack, with a reporter pointing out that at the time the government had told Victorians that the decision had been made on public health advice and asking, "Did you lie to Victorians?" And of course, she doesn't want to answer. Opposition leader Brad Batten hit out at Premier Allen over the issue, accusing her of attempting to continue with a narrative that was now demonstrably false. Daniel Andrews and Jacinta Allen have one thing in common. They want to run away from the truth, he said. They have gone through to the Supreme Court. They have spent thousands upon thousands of taxpayer dollars to try and stop the truth coming out. And now the truth is out, and Jacinta Allen tries to deny it. I mean, this is the woman that's leading the state of Victoria, just lie upon lie upon lie, avoidance after avoidance. Okay, when are these people going to be held to account? Okay, the reality is this silly cow, Jacinta Allen, is just as bad as Andrews, and we can only hope that she will suffer the same fate as he is now facing. Now, on that point, as I mentioned at the outset of this video, Dan Andrews is getting absolutely hammered from every single angle this week, and it is fantastic. So, first up, on the back of that curfew news, Monica Smith, who I know many of you have heard of, has actually decided to start her own criminal prosecution against Dan Andrews and his cabinet. So this is just a short little excerpt from her site, and there will be a link going up in the comment section. But it says, criminal prosecution begins. The wait is over. Righteous justice begins now. Be part of the prosecution. We're doing this together. With your support, we will launch a private prosecution against Daniel Andrews and his cabinet based on new evidence proving they enforced lockdowns without medical advice or evidence. To date, no one has successfully pursued a criminal prosecution against Daniel Andrews or members of his cabinet. This isn't about apologies. It's not about compensation. It's about accountability. And this is so, so important. Those responsible should face jail time, nothing less. And I agree wholeheartedly. The latest revolution of Document 34 is just the beginning. A public criminal trial will expose truths beyond our imagination. Remember, they fought 4 years to stop that one document from coming out. What other documents do you reckon are still hidden that they are fighting to keep tucked away? Okay, so hopefully a case like that will reveal a lot more. So Monica's website goes on to explain specifically what the case is all about, why she believes that she is the right person to run it. She's raised just over $26,500 so far. So please do be sure to check out her website and, of course, do support that case if it resonates with you. Again, you'll find a link in the comments. Otherwise, we'll try and put something up in the description after the video ends. Now, there's also more good news because the bike boy, Ryan Muleman, who I've spoken about numerous times on these video updates, has just settled his case with Slater and Gordon, and he's actually been paid a significant payout, and he's vowed to use that to keep fighting and going after Dan Andrews personally via a defamation case. So again, this is just the highlights of the article. For those of you who aren't aware, Ryan was taking Slater and Gordon to court because he said that they didn't represent him correctly, and all the stuff was starting to come out about Andrews and everything else. So now, of course, they've decided to bit of hush money and settle it. So Slater and Gordon reached settlement with Ryan Muleman over 2013 crash with Dan Andrews' vehicle. Teenage cyclist struck by ex-Premier Dan Andrews' car has agreed to end a lawsuit against his former lawyers. So it's only the case against Slater and Gordon that's finishing, not his case against Dan Andrews. So important distinction. After receiving a settlement offer too good to refuse. Details of the settlement are confidential. However, in a statement, Mr. Muleman said it felt incredible to be supported and believed. Mr. Muleman has previously suggested he could launch defamation action against the Andrews family to pursue the truth of what happened that day, saying they should have owned up to it years ago. So hopefully now that he's got a little bit of money behind him, he can seek some extra support and assistance with that funding, and hopefully he continues to stick to his guns and pursue Dan Andrews and expose the truth once and for all. But wait, there's even more good news, because there's now actually an official petition, okay, on the Victorian government website to cancel those plans to build a statue in honour of good old Dictator Dan. Now, it hasn't sort of formatted correctly, but at least you'll see the text here. Again, there'll be a link going up in the comments. We'll put something up in the description. But if you want to just type this into your search bar, you'll be able to find this petition. And again, it is on the Victorian government website. It says, petition, cancel plans to commission a statue of former Premier Honourable Daniel Andrews. The petition of certain citizens of the state of Victoria draws to the attention of the Legislative Council the proposed plan to commission the statue of former Premier, the Honourable Daniel Andrews. We respectfully urge the government to cancel this proposal, as it is inappropriate to erect statues of living politicians. Public monuments should be reserved for individuals whose legacies have been tested over time and are broadly regarded as unifying. There remains unresolved allegations regarding Daniel Andrews' management and handling of human rights during the state's pandemic response, lockdowns, and the use of enforcement powers. These issues should be fully resolved before any public honour is considered. Further, a traffic incident relating to the serious injury of a teenager in 2013 remains the subject of public concern. Questions persist regarding Daniel Andrews' actions, including delays in reporting the incident and concerns about a possible political cover-up, raising serious doubts about accountability in public office. Spending taxpayer money on a political monument, particularly for a figure whose legacy remains contested, is inappropriate during a time of economic hardship and community division. Doing so risks deepening distrust and undermining public confidence in government priorities. Ain't that the truth? The petitioners therefore request that the Legislative Council call on the government to cancel any plans to commission or install a statue to former Premier Honourable Daniel Andrews, particularly if any form of public funds or private funding is to be used as commemorating a living and divisive political figure whose legacy remains subject to scrutiny, breaks with long-standing convention. Now, at the time of going to air, there was just over 1,500 signatures. Look, I honestly think with a bit of help from all of you sharing this video far and wide, certainly sharing that petition far and wide, we should get 1 million people, signing up for that. And if we can get those sort of numbers, you can pretty much guarantee that that statue will never, ever happen, as it never should have even been considered in the first place. Now, the reason I know we can get those numbers is because, once again, we've seen another brilliant example of people power against Daniel Andrews just this week with another fantastic victory, because Dan was actually removed as a member from the Moona Links golf course. Now, I've spoken on these videos many times before about all the different and varied businesses, Jim's Mowing comes to mind, those sort of things, that have all refused to serve Dan Andrews in any way, shape or form. I've also spoken about his attempts to get into other golf clubs like the Portsea Golf Club. All those efforts have all been denied. But this week, what he actually managed to do was to get one of his Labor-loving mates, good old Sam Beck, to actually get this, swap out his wife's name for Daniel Andrews' name to get him into the club through the back door. Well, after absolute public outrage, I'm happy to say it's just been confirmed that he's actually been removed from that club as well, which of course is absolutely fantastic news. So here is the article if everyone wants to have a look at that. Daniel Andrews no longer a member at Mornington Peninsula Golf Club. It's been a very short-lived tenure for Dan Andrews at Moona Links Golf Resort, with the former Victorian Premier no longer on the books. As reported by Page 13 just last week, so he was only there for 1 week, Andrews' good friend Rich Lister Max Beck had got his mate in the back door as a nominee member at the Mornington Peninsula Golf Club. Page 13 understands that property baron Beck is a foundation member at Moona Links and recently switched out his wife's name on a membership, replacing her with Andrews. I mean, how low can you get? Really? You stoop that low to remove your own wife to put Andrews in? Mate, you got problems. Cue considerable, actually scrap that, frothing and feverish backlash by members and the golfing community. The club even went to the lengths of issuing a statement on their social media page where most of the anti-Dan vitriol had been unloaded on Thursday. Moona Links Golf Resort wishes to address recent public speculation regarding former Premier Daniel Andrews, the golf club wrote in a statement on Thursday. We can confirm that Mr. Daniel Andrews is not a member of Moona Links Golf Resort. Moona Links continues to focus on providing a world-class golfing experience and supporting events that promote sport, tourism and community development. The complete opposite of what Dan Andrews stood for. So good on Moona Links Golf Resort for backtracking on that, and I hope they dish out some punishment to Mr. Beck for even trying something so underhanded as well, and teach him a little bit of a lesson along the way. Look, at the end of the day, let's all work collectively and let's ensure that Dan Andrews can't pick up a golf club anywhere in Victoria, and preferably the entire country. And let's just give him, just a small dose of the very medicine that he doled out to all Victorians without, of course, any actual health advice just a few short years ago. I mean, the stuff that is happening to him at the moment is fantastic to hear, and long may his demise continue until he suffers what many Victorians are still suffering right through to today after all those years later. All right, and there's more good news to finish off with. The final thing that I want to share with everyone tonight is in regard to a landmark Supreme Court ruling in the UK where the court has declared once and for all that transgender women are not women. Now, obviously, everyone's aware of Australia's close ties to the UK legal system, so do be sure to read this article because it will, of course, have flow-on effects here. Legal definition of woman is based on biological sex, UK Supreme Court rules. Judges say Equality Act definition excludes transgender women after gender-critical campaigners challenge. The UK Supreme Court has issued a historic and definitive ruling that the terms woman and sex in the Equality Act refer only to a biological woman and biological sex. In a decision that delighted gender-critical activists, 5 judges ruled unanimously that the legal definition of a woman in the Equality Act 2010 did not include transgender women who hold gender recognition certificates. The judgment could have far-reaching ramifications and lead to greater restrictions on the access for trans women to services and spaces reserved for women, as it bloody should. It prompted calls for the UK's laws on gender recognition to be rewritten. The UK government said the rulings brought clarity and confidence for women and those who run hospitals, sports clubs and women's refuges. A spokesperson said, "We've always supported the protection of single-sex spaces based on biological sex. Single-sex spaces are protected in law and will always be protected by this government." Lord Hodge, the Deputy President of the Court, said the Equality Act was very clear that its provisions dealt with biological sex at birth and not with a person's acquired gender, regardless of whether they held a gender recognition certificate. Okay, a bit of paper doesn't define anything in reality. It's just a piece of paper. Now, again, I don't want to upset anybody here. I'm sure I will, but that's not my point. Okay, I know of people out there that identify as other genders and all that other stuff, okay? You know, if you want to cross-dress or believe that you are some other gender, then you're more than welcome to your beliefs. But you can't expect others to believe the same things as you in the same way as I can't expect people to believe the things that I believe. Your biological sex is a reality. It's not a mere belief. So, as you can see, it has been a huge week for common sense, for the truth, and of course, for justice. Finally, it's been a long time coming, but long may it continue. And speaking of truth and justice, for those who want to learn it and experience it for themselves, a very quick reminder that the very first of our brand new webinar series is on next Sunday, the 4th of May. Now, there is a specific Constitution webinar link that'll go up in the comments. You can find it under the seminar tab and then under the webinar tab. Now, I have put on there a short video which explains exactly what you will learn at that specific webinar. And I'll be putting up other dedicated pages and other dedicated videos for all of the other webinars over the coming week. But for those of you who are interested in next weekend, the Commonwealth Constitution and those Constitution Commission reports are the foundation of everything that we teach, because every law must comply with the Commonwealth Constitution. And of course, those Constitution Commission reports are the reports that were provided to the government and detailed the changes that needed to be made to the Commonwealth Constitution for all the other laws to remain valid. And of course, none of those suggestions were ever actually adopted. Okay, so it has massive repercussions for every law, for every court, every legal position across this country. So please, if you want to understand the fundamentals of the law in this country, explained in clear, simple to understand terms, it's going to open your eye to a whole new reality, then please, at the very least, book in for that particular webinar. And remember again that 20% off Easter promotion can be used for that particular webinar. And if you want to take advantage of the special discount for booking all 6 webinars together, you get a further discount and you can apply that 20% Easter discount as well. And again, you'll find all the details on either the webinar page or on our seminar page. and you can use that discount for all of those. All right, so finally, just to finish off, as I always do, I'm going to go through the latest memes to get people thinking. Obviously, we had Easter last weekend, so here's a wonderful Easter meme just to remind you that lockdowns don't work. So that one did the rounds, and I thought that was quite humorous. Yes, just a reminder, double demerit points are in force in a number of states this Anzac long weekend. So if you are travelling around in one of those states that does have double demerit points, please do be aware of that. Now, early voting has opened for the federal election, so I will now be sharing some of the host of the various political memes that have been coming through over the past few weeks. I'll share a couple on each video as we get closer and closer to voting day. But yes, it's a little bit small. Not sure if you can read that one there, but I will read it out, of course. And as it says there, Greens belong in salads, not in Parliament. So very important to remember. And don't worry, I'm going to have a go at all the different political parties. And this is a very good one about our good mate Albo. My word is my bond, so he says. A $275 cut to power prices. Fail. Under our plan, no family will be worse off. Fail. Real lasting plans for cheaper mortgages. Failed. Energy will be cheaper under Labor. Failed. Our objective is not to raise taxes. Failed. No taxes to workers' superannuation. Failed. No industry-wide bargaining. Failed. No bulk billing under Labor. More bulk billing under Labor. Failed. Labor will keep borders safe. Yeah, right. Fail. Petrol prices will be cheaper under Labor. Complete fail. We'll deliver the voice to First Nations. Failed miserably. I want a more honest, transparent government. Well, I think we've just seen how absolutely calamitous that failure was, especially in Victoria. And I will build a prosperous country. Complete and utter failure. Do not vote in this failure under any circumstances. And finally, this is actually an old Turkish proverb that was sent into us by one of our members. And it says this: the forest was shrinking, but the trees kept voting for the axe. For the axe was clever and convinced the trees that because his handle was made of wood, he was one of them. Yes, and don't we see that kind of thing going on all the time? So I'm going to leave things there for tonight. As always, I urge you to make use of all of the various products and services that are available to you to please get informed, get fired up, and get proactive. As always, these videos are completely free to watch. You find them on the videos tab on our Facebook page. Remember, Facebook are deleting them after 30 days. So we do urge you to follow along with us on our YouTube channel or our BitChute channel. Now, just another point, I keep forgetting to remind people. We've had a number of people request that we put timestamps on our videos on YouTube. So we have had that going on for the last month or so. So all the new videos going on YouTube will have timestamps. So if you're into that kind of thing and it helps you out, do check out our YouTube channel and make sure you like and subscribe to that. As always, there's plenty of information on our websites. Our radio shows, again, completely free to listen to every second Tuesday between 8 and 10 p.m. So again, this coming Tuesday, just after the Anzac Day weekend, we'll be back live on air with another 2-hour show, completely uncensored. Just click on the radio show tab, just click on the big black listen live button, and you can listen to that from anywhere in the world. Now, of course, if you want to go above and beyond that, we do, of course, recommend our book, The Essential Step-by-Step Manual for Understanding and Exercising Your Rights. That Aussie Speeding Fines book, which I've mentioned many times before, for successfully challenging all manner of unjust and unlawful fines. These guys have been around for 18 years now, so you know their information works. And as I mentioned before, we do know a lot of people are struggling financially at the moment, so stop throwing good money after bad at your unsecured loans, your credit cards, things like that. They are covered and can be very easily discharged or written off using their tried, tested and proven 4-step process. So again, you'll find links in the description. You can get those individually. You can get them all as part of the combo pack. And of course, you do get the tote bag included with that as a little bonus, no extra charge. Don't forget, we've got our caps and beanies. I've got to bring a beanie along because I think we're getting some colder weather again. So make sure you make use of those. People see the logo, they come up, have a chat. It's a great way to meet like-minded people. Our webinars, as I said, first one is on next weekend. If you can't make our webinars, one of the best things to get is, of course, a copy of that home study course, which is a complete recording of one of our 2.5-day events. There's 3 custom-made workbooks with sections next to to right next to every single slide from every single presentation. Pause, rewind, fast forward in the comfort of your own home at your own pace. It is a really, really great resource tool. Remember, again, that 20% discount, the Easter discount applies to all of those, including the home study course. And as I mentioned before, even things like our Ultimate Platinum Pack, which contains basically every single physical product that we have and you get a massive discount already by buying them all together. And then you can add the 20% Easter discount on top of that as well. So do be sure to do that over the course of this coming weekend. Other than that, I wish you all a very happy, healthy Anzac Day in remembrance for tomorrow. We'll be back on Tuesday night for our radio show, and of course next Thursday for the next live video update. Until then, take care.